So, Jerusalem is captured by a very powerful Babylonian military forces in 586 BC. Soldiers triumphantly marched into Jerusalem, and it was a destruction. No matter whether the war was on 586 BC or in the 21st century, war does a lot of damages. There is innumerable collateral damages that comes with war. Not just death, but people in the ancient days took captives. And so from Jerusalem, the kings and queens, the royal families, the prophets and preachers and the judges and lords, they were the big ones who were arrested, apprehended, and deported to Babylon. Which means all the upper echelon people who were the rulers, they were all shipped to Babylon. Even in our own days, we have seen war in Afghanistan that wasn't pretty. Our U.S. envoy who went basically dismantled Saddam Hussein's armed forces that created so much chaos. And then the American Western forces came in to stabilize the country, and it did not work. Right? It did not work. So war collateral damages is not just death, but the whole country fell apart. Religious rivalries between Shia and Sunni. They were bombing each other on Friday during their worship. Right? Did you see that? Yeah. And then recently we saw Iraq went through the same thing. When we got out, and even when we were there, things wasn't that great. Then we got out, and it got worse. There's flies. So war, there is no winners in war. There is no winners. There's a lot of chaos, death, displacement, destruction. So, in Jerusalem, temple, like church, like Sun City United Methodist Church, where we come to encounter the Holy One of God. This is where people came with a sense of brokenness and left this place with a smile. This is the Jerusalem temple where people from everywhere came, brought their sacrifices, offered to God, and felt redeemed. Right? Those days, in the olden days, if you read Leviticus, you will find that they brought the best calf to sacrifice to the Lord. And if you have sinned, and if you have done some injustice unto the Lord, you kill the animal, you put them on the altar, and as the animal is burned, you have your hand on the head of the carcass, and saying, "This animal is representing me," and asking God to forgive. Huh? Old Testament practices. So, temple was very important. Spirituality is very important because when God created us in Genesis, remember it says after God molded, shaped, what did God do? He breathed a breath under the nostril, right? And the life came about. Here's my theory. We have this breath of God. We breathe the breath of God. That means, we are created to be spiritually grounded in God. And without that spirituality, we are just basically homeless. Right? And so, way early, I think it was Kierkegaard, this philosopher who said, there is this emptiness, there's a vacuum in our heart. And that emptiness, that vacuum, cannot be filled by any material goods, your popularity, whatever the world gives you to become great. If that emptiness deep within your being is empty, you will be empty. Right? If the world defines happiness and joy with the materials that we have, Americans should be the happiest people in the world. Because we have it. Right? But are we? Are we? No, it's not. Because deep within our being, our soul is empty. God needs to be in there to make us whole. So, Jerusalem temple is gone. No wonder people in captivity felt so homeless. They were literally homeless, but spiritually they were homeless as well. And therefore, whenever they remember their home, they cried. So, war brought a lot of pain to people of Jerusalem. Even though, at this time, Babylon was a seat of business. Right? Babylon is the country that had, the Hanging Garden, remember? Yeah? It's a very historical stuff. Wonders of the world. Hanging Garden. Metropolis. Babylon was giving this people of Jerusalem what they need. Plush life. No, it wasn't working out. It wasn't working out. It just seems like in captivity, maybe they were depressed. That happens, right? And maybe they just stayed home and did nothing. We're a stranger here. We were brought here without our permission. That's your Babylonian neighbors. We don't like our neighbors. I hate those people, right? I don't know. Maybe people of Jerusalem was thinking something like that. Isolating themselves. Having some pity parties, right? Jeremiah is saying, no, don't do that. Jeremiah is saying, don't do that. We need to claim this place. We need to learn to be neighbors with these people. We need to buy real estate. We need to buy houses. We need to root ourselves in this Babylonian land. We need to farm. You need to have some good garden. Produce, eat, sell them. Be like them. And marry your children. If you have a son, find a woman. If you have a daughter, find a man. Find her a husband. We need to become part of the community. When you are looking for your own well-being, you will be helping your neighbors. Right? Yeah. Immigrants to this country since 1880. We have been doing that. Your grandparents, great-grandparents, they came from Europe. Because they were fleeing because the crop failed. Right? Taxes were going up. There were some religious persecutions. And therefore, they fled and came to America. Those days when there were no immigration department. Because immigration department only comes in 1924. Right? And so when people came, they brought that tenacious spirit. They worked hard, whether they were farmers or anything else. They became entrepreneurs. They work hard. Even today, immigrants who come, they come to work. They are the hardest working people because America gave them one opportunity, to plant themselves in this country and to exploit the opportunities and then do their best. I'm a fruit of it, right? Yeah, I'm a fruit of it. Yeah. Just 1981, I started my journey in Los Angeles, San Diego, 1982. Who would have thought I would be who I am today? In those early days in ministry as well, people with because David, because you're a minority person, that is why Bishop gave you this church. There was, collegial jealousy. And I would say to some folks, if you can do better than I am, then it's yours. Call the bishop. And so, because I want to be better at what I do, excel at what I do, I read a lot. I studied a lot. I wrote a lot. I went to seminars. I went to workshops because I want to be good. I want to be better than her and him. I don't want to say, I don't want congregation complaining to bishop. You send us David Jamir, it doesn't work. I did not want to hear that, and so I worked. I feel that I've earned who I am today. Nobody gave me anything free. I paid every dime to graduate school. You know. Why? Because America gave me an opportunity. When I first came, I was making $4 an hour. Yeah. And I did not get the check. I asked the school to put that check straight to the business office. And from the business office, I took $20 a week. My budget for 1 week was $20. And so I ate a lot of spaghettis. I ate a lot of macaronis. And so today, if you cook spaghetti, I'll eat. When Helena cooked spaghetti, I ate. But I will never buy spaghetti. When I go to a restaurant, I ate so many packages of macaroni and cheese because they were cheap, right? Yeah. I don't eat macaronis. But day before, Jessica and I went and we bought 2 packages of macaroni because suddenly, as we were walking down the aisle, I go, oh, I want macaroni. So we bought some macaroni. Otherwise, I don't. Because my $20 budget could go only so far, and so I ate something very easy, cheap. And therefore, when I graduated with 2 master's degrees, I did not owe a dime to school. My friends, my American friends, got letters from the dean's office. If you don't pay your bill, you are not graduating, or you will not have your diploma. Right? You know that. That's the ritual. I did not get any of those letters. Because I paid for it. By eating macaroni and spaghetti. Yeah. It's because America gave me opportunity and I was not going to take it, ruin my life. Mesmerized by American culture. No. I was going to work hard and I want to do the things right. Opportunity. And so that is what Jeremiah is telling people in captivity. You are here for a reason. And therefore, exploit the opportunities that Babylon is giving it to you. Yes, you are in captivity, but for now, this is your home. This is your place. Ground your feet deep into the soil and buy a house, build a house, have a garden, have a farm, raise your kids here, marry them. Because another thing that Jeremiah said was, don't lose who you are. Second thing that he said was, don't let your population dwindle. If you don't plant yourself, someday your tribe will vanish. And therefore, marry your kids, have children. Populate. And therefore, when you are taking care of yourself, you are going to bless your neighbors. Your Babylonian neighbors might wonder, man, these people that just came yesterday and they have established well, That happens, right? That happens. When the Babylonians are jealous, they might do better, and therefore the city might do better for everybody. That's how Christians should do. We should give our best and let God give the increase, multiply them. And so that is what is happening in this particular text that we read this morning. No longer live and behave like a stranger, but be part of it. Be part of it. Become part of the community. Love the community you're in. Serve the community you're in. Do the best you can for the community. And they will say, thank you. That's what it is. That's what Jeremiah is saying to people in Babylon. And so, people of Jerusalem was in Babylon for 70 years. They were in captivity for 70 years until they came home. In 70 years, a lot could happen. If you choose not to participate, a lot could happen to you. But they took Jeremiah's word. They were in captivity for 70 years, and they made it. That could happen to us too. We are small, but we are mighty. Because we are not fighting this battle on our own, right? God is with us, right? Okay, that's the sermon for today.